Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So if you're new around here, you guys, my name's Shakema. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, 1 fur dog named Gracie, and we have 1 fur grand dog. His name is Acro. We're thinking about getting a 2nd fur grand dog, but Trandon hasn't decided yet. With that being said, we're around here living our best Dave Ramsey life, doing all of the things. So this is a budget update video. Let's jump right in. Alrighty, you guys. So we're updating our November budget. We are doing Dave Ramsey, and we have been doing Dave Ramsey for the last 10 years. I know I have a lot of new subscribers, and I do want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me and the kids. You guys don't know what you mean to us. And I know that sounds a little weird coming from a YouTuber because you're like, Shakema, you never can see us. We're on the other side of the camera. You guys are my friends. And I do see some of you on Saturday mornings, those ladies who join me for my Saturday morning Bible study. So I'm excited to get to know everybody. If you are new here, always leave us comments down in the comment section. If they're kind, they will stay. If they are unkind, they will not stay. Sometimes my children do read the comments, and I do not want them to see unkind things about me or about them because sometimes people will be people. Anywho, so for my new folks, I know you may be very unfamiliar with my story. So about 11 years ago, I found myself in a precarious situation. I was married and living my best life, thinking life was well, and found out that my ex did not wish to remain in the relationship when he just walked out one day. And from that day to this, he's never walked back in. And that's perfectly fine. So the kids and I were in a situation where I had to find a way to be able to take care of my responsibilities. And so I prayed, God, or I asked the Lord, I said, how am I going to feed my children? And God spoke very clearly to me. He said coupons. So about 10 years ago, I became a couponer. I learned it. God taught it to me. I didn't watch YouTube videos. I wasn't on YouTube at that time. I've only started watching YouTube videos about 7 years ago, and we've been on YouTube in September of 2020 for 6 years. And so it wasn't something that I knew about, but I asked God, and he laid it on my mind. He taught me how to do it. And I have been doing it ever since. And then one other thing happened. My church introduced me to this concept called Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University. And I thought, man, I got to get on this because I cannot see myself. I can't see my way clear of what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing is not working. And I've got to do something different. So I didn't even have the money to take the class. But I prayed again. And I said, God, I want to take this class. I don't have, the money to do it. Can you just provide? $100 came through. I signed myself up for the class. I went every single week. You couldn't bring your kids. And Jackson was a baby. I don't even think he was quite 1 year old. So I had to make arrangements for childcare. And I went to the class. And man, it radically changed my life. From the very last class until today, I've been budgeting. I've made budgets. I haven't always kept to the budget, but I've always made the budgets. I've been very consistent in that. And what happened is about 2 years ago, I made a decision in my mind. I said, God, I'm going to get gazelle intense because budgeting wasn't hard for me. It was just trying to figure out the intensity and how are these people paying off all of this debt? And I can't even seem to just make minimum payments. I mean, it was a challenge, but my mindset was different. So about 2 years ago, I changed my eating habits, went on the ketogenic lifestyle. This is not a plug for that, but I'm telling you what happened to me. Changed my eating habits, and it was like my brain began to function. Now I'm very academically inclined, but something happened and I got intense. And I said, by the end of the first year, I'm going to be here. Didn't quite hit that goal, but I said by the end of the second year, I'm going to be done with this debt period. I gave myself a goal of June 2019. The kids and I actually became debt-free in May of 2019. Then we incurred a hospital bill from Alana. She had to have some procedure done. And I said, no worries, I'm paying this. It was just, it was a significant amount to me, but it wasn't something we couldn't do. We became again debt-free in September of 2019 and have remained so with the exception of our home. At the current moment, we are now working baby steps 3, 4, 5, and 7 at the same time. Most people work 4, 5, and 6 together. That's not my testimony. Baby step number 3 is funding your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. We have about $1,000 in that fund. To be fully funded, we would need between $9,000 and $18,000. That is a goal for me in 2021, is to have that fully funded well before 2021. And we're going to be on our way. The reason I say that is because we're right at Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming. So I don't want to set myself up for failure by having savings goals that I know I'm not going to be able to meet just yet. Starting in January, because Christmas will be over, I know that I will be able to do a little bit more to meet those goals. And I'm thankful for that. Also, baby step number 4 is investments. Or investing 15% of your income. Well, I can't invest 15% of my income at the moment because I am still trying to fund baby step number 3. But what I can do is put something into investments. I'm very blessed in the fact that I have 2 Roth IRAs that plus my 401k that I contribute to through my work. And so what I'm going to do starting in 2021 is where I may not be able to do the full 6,000 max benefit of funding every year. I'm going to put something in it because putting something in will gain me interest more than the 0 I'm putting in now because it's not gaining me any interest. So I do have those accounts sitting there. They're gaining the little bits of interest, but I want to be able to put something in. So I'm going, even if it's $20 or $100 or whatever I'm able, I want to do that starting in 2021. And I think I'll be able to do that without a huge issue. I'm going to be able to do something. That's just what I'm telling myself. That's a goal for me in 2021. Baby step number 5 is paying for college for your children. Now, I do not pay for college for any of my children. That is just not something that I do. If you do it, that's perfectly fine. But I don't want to pay money for kids to be undecided about what they want to do. I don't want to pay money for them to drop out of school and then I'm paying the debt. I know people right now that are paying college loans for their children, and their children aren't even doing what they went to college to do. Not my testimony. However, I am for the younger kids. I just didn't have it together enough in my head when the older kids were still here to do this. Is every time their dad sends child support, then I take a little bit for them, and it is just a little bit. I get that. I understand. Shakema, you could be doing more. I could always be doing more. But I take a little bit for them, and I put it into their savings account in the hopes that once they're ready to transition from my home to their own home, they will have a little bit of startup cash. When I transitioned from home, I didn't have startup anything. My grandparents didn't give me anything. My parents didn't give me anything. They still don't give me anything. And that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to do a little different for my children and be able to provide what I can. And it's not even me doing it. Again, their dad sends the money. I steward over it and I put it away for them when they are able to make the decisions for their finances. Then those finances will be turned over to them themselves. Alana works a job and I regulate her money. Well, Shakema, she works. She should be able to do what she wants. She's 16. She cannot even vote. She can't buy alcohol. She can't move out on her own. She can't do anything until she is legally 18. So until she turns 18, I make the decisions, and I have decided that she puts the majority of her money into her savings. She tithes off of her paychecks. She is allowed to have a little bit of just cash that she can buy some things or go to a store or whatever she wants to do with that little bit of spending money. She does the work. So yes, she can have spending money, but 60 to 70% of her money stays in the bank. And so when she is ready to transition from home, she will have something to work with. So I'm not trying to be the big mean mom that's regulating her money and she never can spend anything. That is not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to help her make those decisions. Every week, she has to record all of her transactions. She has to do all of that's her money. She gets to manage it on paper, and it stays in the bank, and we do what we need. In 2021, she will actually start her first Roth IRA because she makes her own money. And so she will be able to have something to have as a nest egg for herself, something that at 40 plus, I'm just learning, she will learn at 17. And so I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that she works and she doesn't complain about it. She loves her job. She came yesterday and she's like, Mom, I really love my work. You know, she loves the people, and I'm thankful for that. Jackson doesn't work just yet, so he can't have a Roth IRA, but I'm just going to keep chunking money into his savings account as best as I can. Moving into this budget update. So, I had a comment last time asked me, because it's November, am I still funding the kids' savings, or am I giving them their money for Christmas, or am I doing both? So I am not in a position to do both right now, because I am now using some of that money as well to save up for the homeschool curriculum. So what I do is, starting in November, I make them wait until November. In the first 2 to 3 weeks of December, I take the money I was going to put in their savings account and let them have that money for their Christmas presents that they want to buy for other people. Not what I buy for them, because I've already taken money out for them out of my supplement, but what they want to buy for other people. And this started last year. It was in 2019. Alana was 15 at the time, and she really just had a list of friends and different family members, and the kids also exchanged gifts with each other. She wanted to have money to buy sister something and brother something, and she didn't want Mom to do it. She's like, Mom, you always do it. I want to go and do it. You know, she's big for Christmas. She's big on gifts. She remembers everybody's birthday. That is Alana. It's how she lives her best life. And so I think right around the Black Friday time, it popped into my head, well, Shakema, Dad's sending money. Why don't you just, give her some, give him the same, Jackson the same, and then they can make their own decisions. Now, here's how this works. Alana takes her money. She has her list. She buys for her people. Jackson has his money. He gives it to Alana to buy for the people. He's not as into the gift buying. He's like, well, Mom, Alana just knows what she wants to do. She can have my money. He just gives it to her, and she buys his gifts for him to give to his people. It works out. That's how they live their best life. I don't get involved unless they ask me to get involved. And then after Christmas, I go back to saving for their savings account for the year. So January through October, the end of October, I put in their savings account. Starting in November, the first child support in November, moving into about right up until Christmas, I give them their money, and they can use it for Christmas gifts if they so choose. They should usually have about $150, maybe $175 at that time. Alana usually has 1,000 people on her list, and she has told me multiple times, Mom, I need about $1,000. I need $1,000 because I have all these people to buy for. And I said, ma'am, that is not how we live in our best life. You're going to have to shave down that gift amount per person, because we cannot. So she has to make some hard choices. And Jackson, like I said, he usually gives Alana his money, and she just buys all of their gifts together. And she says, okay, Jackson, this is what I bought you for this person, this person, this person. He's fine with it. Works out. So now I get Alana's cash out. She has cash envelope where she can keep her money. Jackson doesn't want his money out. He wants it in his bank, and he'll get it when Christmas happens. So perfectly fine. I just transfer it over to the bank and let them live their best life. Whatever they want to do, I am here for all the things. Now that I have chit-chatted and rambled on, I hope I've answered your questions. If you ever have questions about finances, if you would just leave a comment down below, I'll answer as best I can, or how it affects my family. I do like to say this in every video. Finances are very subjective. Nobody can tell me how to spend my finances. You can give suggestions, and if they're great suggestions, I'll be happy to take them or into consideration and implement what I'm able to. I can't in turn tell you how to manage your finances. You have to come to a decision about what you're going to do with your finances. I've come to a decision about my finances. I mentioned this last week, I think, on a live video. My sister, who lives here where I live, I have one sister who lives here where I live, said, it was my nephew's birthday. Hey, we're meeting at Buffalo Wild Wings. Does anybody want to, anybody can come to eat with us? And I have to decide, can I afford that? For myself and 2 kids at Buffalo Wild Wings is at minimum $35 between an entree and a drink, or $40. That wasn't in my budget last week. And so I told her, it doesn't fit our budget. I love my nephew. Happy birthday, nephew. We did not go. We did not. And I didn't feel bad. Some people would feel bad. Well, you didn't support and you didn't do this. No, but I couldn't afford it at that moment. Well, Shakema, you got money in you said you had $1,000 in your baby step number 3, and that's where it's staying, in baby step number 3. So just going to live that best life. Again, going back to, I can't tell you how to allocate, and nobody can tell me how to allocate, but the people who live in this household and who look at the bills and the situations and what we're trying to do as far as goals can then decide. So one final thing I did want to tell you guys, because I know some of you have been watching and me having the ad issue. Here's what I have figured out. And thankfully, the Lord helps me think about things, because I was YouTubing and trying to figure it out. Couldn't find it out. Figured it out finally. So usually when I put up a new video, because I know a lot of people will tell me, Shakema, we didn't see any ads. Usually the ad that YouTube will put on the video is at the very end of the video. And my watch minutes are down. So most people don't get to the ad because it's at the very end of the video. So I now have to go in and manually put in ads. If YouTube picks up the ads, they'll show. If they don't pick them up, they won't show. But normally it takes about 2 days later before they just automatically begin to start populating. With that being said, I may not get any income from I average about 1,900 views. I may not get any ad revenue or income with that first 1,500 views. I just may not. So it might come after that 1,500 views. But most of my people who are here for Shakema, their team us, they've already watched the videos, and it's fine. Just keep watching. That helps us. Whether we get the ads at the beginning or the end, honestly, we love the interaction. We love hanging out with you guys. I love doing the videos. It's one of the most favorite things that I get to do throughout my week. I enjoy this environment. I enjoy this platform. I enjoy all of the interaction in the comments. I try to answer back if I'm able. So I enjoy that. But I know a lot of you are saying, Shakema, I try to let the ads play. Again, if there's something that you know is absolutely opposite of our lifestyle, household, skip that. Skip it. Just skip it. It is not going to bother me. I'm not going to be concerned, because I got to a point, because it was bothering me last month. And I got to a point where I just told the Lord, I said, God, I'm trying to control this. I am trying to control the ad revenue that comes in, because I have goals in my mind. Okay, I saw this person and they said, I made a goal for my channel. And I'm thinking, I never made a goal for my channel, not financially. I've always made subscriber goals. Like, I'd love to have these many subscribers. This probably should be a chit chat, not a budget video, because I ain't budgeted yet. I'm getting to that part. But I had never made a budget goal, and I'm trying to make this goal, but I keep seeing my numbers. It was exactly like that other month where my numbers were going down, 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 down. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm putting up videos, I'm putting up content. And some lovely YouTuber who answered a question I put in the YouTube world of questions is, oh, you don't have enough views to get any money for your videos. Your channel's just a small channel and your ads are spammy ads. Nobody's going to watch that. And I was like, thanks, bruh. Thanks. Like, power's on. I appreciate that. Just really messed my whole life up. But it's okay. I am thankful for every single person of the 11,486 subscribers that I have. Whether I'm a small channel or not, praise the Lord that people even come back to watch the videos. I don't care how you got here. I'm just glad you're here. makes me happy to know somebody's out there and interested in what I'm doing. So anyway, that's the issue. The ads that YouTube puts out there for my videos are coming at the very end. And so because my watch minutes are down, most people don't make it to the end of the video, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to watch it to the end. But now I go in manually and I'll put in 1 or 2 additional ones closer to the front and then in the middle, so that perhaps if you watch at least halfway through the video, you've seen an ad. And if you still don't see them, again, no worries. God's going to take care of it. And I just stopped worrying about it. I do my due diligence on the back end, and it's perfect. It's worked out fine. For a few days, I saw some shifting, and every night I see a huge increase, and then the next morning it's down again. But I've just learned it ebbs and flows. Over the last 2 days prior to me filming this video, I saw a small increase, like $2 or $3. And then this morning, I saw another increase of a few dollars. So I'm okay as long as it's moving in the same general direction. I'm not going to worry about the amount. I just want it to move in the right direction. And I believe that the Lord has helped me. One of my subs, Dana, said, hey, Shakema, keep doing what you're doing because I saw 4 ads on your video. So I'm not trying to intentionally stuff the video with ads. I'm just trying to do what I can to make sure something shows up. So I'm working the process. I don't want it overly, I like to watch videos that I could just see the video. The ads really do tend to bother me sometimes, but it's a part of it. So I just kind of go through it and watch it and whatever. Again, all right, now let's jump into these numbers. So the kids and I received a child support deposit today, and there are some things that we have to do. So I wanted to bring you down to a picture of a view of my desk, because I think that most people like it better when I just write it down. And so I'm going to write down what that deposit was and how I'm planning to allocate those funds. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. We love you. Not going to be long now. So let me take you down to a view of my desk. All right, you guys. So our deposit was a regular deposit this week. $216 was $216.46. That's a normal number that we're used to seeing. I say normal, but it's just because that's what it typically is. I'm going to subtract from this the $22 that we pay in tithe. And that's going to give us $194.46. Now, right off the top, I'm going to go ahead and take $22.50 out for homeschool. And that's going to be for homeschool curriculum. So if those of you who are new, I do homeschool my children, although I work full time. And normally what I would do is I would wait until the summertime to try to figure out. I mean, I wasn't trying to figure it out, but I figured, hey, I don't need it until August, September. Why would I be? I wasn't thinking that I should have a sinking fund for homeschool for their curriculum. Let me just write so that people really can understand what that's for the homeschool curriculum. So when we started this school year, I kept thinking, okay, if I saved a little bit of the child support every month, by the time I get to June, which I don't get paid in June or July, I get my last paycheck in May, at the end of May, the last working day of the month, which is my June money. But I don't get paid at the end of June, and I don't get paid at the end of July. So technically for those 2 months, I have no paycheck, but I do have my credit union pull out $393 every single month for 10 months. And then that money is split at the end of June and the end of July to take care of our summer months, which is why our bills look a little bit different in the summer. But anyway, I kept thinking, it finally hit my brain, if I take out a little bit of the child support every month or every week that he sends something, $90 per month, then by the end of the 10th month, I would have at least $900. Now, my total purchases for the kids' curriculum this year was a little bit over $900, so I wouldn't have a lot to come up with when I'm starting to get their new curriculum for the next school year. So it was the best solution, or that I thought, come up with it every week. He sends something. Just take a little bit out. I want to save $90 a month. So far I've already saved $35. This is my $22.50 will put me at $57.50. And then I'll just save the next little bit over the next couple of weeks. And it's worked out so far. September, October, and this is the third month that we will put money in. So by the end of November, we should have $270 saved towards curriculum, because I'm doing $90 a month. That was a long explanation, but anyway. Okay, so for the kids, I'm going to take out $50. That's for their Christmas money. And that's going to leave $121.96. Now, normally I would take a little bit out for, for groceries. So I don't have to take any money out this time for groceries. I received several blessings for groceries, and I have grocery money. So I am so excited and stoked about not having to take any money out for groceries. But I do have to take out $40. I have a bill that popped up on me, so I have to take out $40 for a bill that I need to pay, and that's going to leave me with $81.96. And then remember, I said that my chiropractor now is going to have to come out of my own personal, because I've exhausted all of my benefits on my benefits card. So $60 is actually going to come out of this for chiropractor. So I'm going to take out $60 for the chiropractor. And that's going to leave me with $21.96. $21.96 is not a lot of money, but this is going into my baby step number 3. So that's going to leave me with a $0 left. Now, again, all of that is allocated for. We tithe off of every single penny that comes into this household. I don't care where it came from. I don't care who gave it to me. The Lord blesses me, and that's what I do. That's a personal mom decision. If you don't do that, Shakema has nothing to say about your finances. Homeschool was an excellent decision for me to come up with finally. I know some people were probably thinking I should have had a sinking fund for it before now, but in 2020 was when I first started doing sinking funds. So it just helps out. Christmas, again, the kids want to have this for themselves to do their Christmas gifts, and I am perfectly fine with that for them, and I will do it for them. So that will work out fine. Just that little bill that I hadn't even thought about that came up, so I'm just going to make that work out. Actually, it's not even that much. It's more like $30. I'll go back and check the numbers very specifically, and if it's not as much, then I'll put more to the baby step number 3. Chiropractor, I just have to pay for that. And again, I pay their taekwondo up front, so I recoup some monies, my $300 at least, back each time I get something if I'm able. And so that will, be way less than the $300. I'll just go ahead and pay $60 each week. And then when when it's paid up, it's no problem. I can pull money out of my paycheck when I get it, but I'd like to pay a little bit ahead so that when the next payment comes out December 1st, then I've already paid the majority of it. It won't be as big of a chunk out of my paycheck. And so then whatever else is left will go into baby step number 3. And I'm going to fund that slowly and slowly. So again, maybe I'm not as quick as some other folks. That's okay. I'm just going to keep going in my direction as best as I can. And that's just how it is going to work out. And so there it is, you guys. Lots of chit chat, but I have a lot of new subscribers who really don't know all the ins and outs of the journey. And I always want to catch people up. But I'm going to make those decisions that I feel are appropriate to make based on my finances and how I need to run some things. Like I said, for groceries, I have grocery money for the week, which is perfect. I'm so excited to have grocery money. We're going to add some Thanksgiving items into the grocery list this week, and I'm well able to get some stuff. Still going to get a few preps because I'm well able to get a few things. And so I'm excited about that, because there have been times when we were unable to, and I had to depend on a little bit of child support money. See, again, like I said last week, when you start making those richer, I don't want to say better, because I can't determine that for you. But when we start making richer financial decisions, like that have a lot of depth to them and thought process, and we sat down and we chit-chatted about it, and we talked about this, and this is the right course of action for our family, then you start to see yourself gaining that traction. You may not always see it, and some weeks might be harder than others, but you can start to see that your efforts are paying off, and that this is going to work. It's gonna work. Like they said it was gonna work. It's gonna work. The baby steps work when you work the steps. And I know a lot of people have been in storm mode, which they've stopped paying off their debt right now. Thank God I do not have debt at this moment, because I would have been in a turmoil. Do I pay the debt, or do I just save up because I'm not sure what's coming down the pipeline? I'm much more at peace with myself, knowing that my bills are paid. I'm thankful to still have a job. I know a lot of people are still trying to recover. So I'm not flaunting my stuff in anybody's face saying, you know, if you was out there working, I get it. We are all doing the best that we can with what we have. My ex-husband is a part of the supply chain. You know, he drives over-the-road trucks. And so as far as that is concerned, I'm thankful that he's been able to still do that. He's not been shut down any at all. And now that he is able to drive and still do that, it makes sure that the kids have what they need. I make sure that the kids have what they need. However, it does help. For a long time, let me just throw this in there and take it for how I'm saying it. For a long time, I did not pursue child support because I did not want another man in the system. I could not make that work in my head. Like one more person in the system. And a very wise lady, her name is Miss Cynthia, came and she said to me one time, she said, Shakema, get them babies they money. And I was like, but he's going to hate me. It's not going to, you know, he's not going to talk to me anymore. We don't have anything to discuss as it is, unless it pertains to the children. So in that case, all I'm asking him to do is to invest into their life. Half of them are his and half of them are mine. And so, and I had previously asked him before going to pursue child support to provide something. And I was told, I don't have anything and I'm not doing anything. Perfectly fine. No problem. Then the judge will decide. Because I had to take it out of the, he's going to hate me. Well, I do my very best to not be that mother who's always, well, the money didn't come and didn't show up and you better pay me or I'm going to take you back to court. That's between him and the court. If it comes in, it comes in. He was late a couple times, very back in the beginning of it. And we actually had to go to court. And they said at court, Shakema, you get to decide if he goes to jail or not, because he owes back child support. And at that moment, I had a decision to make. And I said, you know what? He's worth more working than he is sitting in jail because he's behind. So I said, let him make up the payments as best as he can. And he did his very best. And at that moment, our relationship shifted because he knew I wasn't trying to go after him. I could have on multiple occasions gone in and got a raise or demanded a raise because he's making more money. I don't know how much he makes. It's not my business. But I could have taken him to court, blah, blah, blah. That is not what I'm out here for. And I say all that to say, if your children are not getting what they need because you're undecided about going to pursue what is rightfully theirs, then put your mind at rest. They're y'all's responsibility. Y'all had them. and y'all should be taking care of them. And I took care of them for a long time without any help. And we were struggling. And that is not what God's plan for our life is, to be out here just struggle, struggle, struggle. And that doesn't mean that the man has to struggle, struggle, struggle either. No, that's why marriages should work. But when marriages don't work, we still have these kids. And because we have these kids, we have got to, we've got to make joint decisions about what happens with these kids. So that's just for some of those moms like me who struggle or struggled with that decision. Again, when the child support does come in, if you get that order for your children, then it's up to us to be women about it and not put it in his face. That's why I took you to court. You know, that time is out. We are done with all of that. We are going to be women of God. We are going to be upstanding, and we're going to keep it classy. Yes, we're going to get our money, but we're not going to act like that. We're not going to give him reason. It's hard enough. He's trying to take care of these kids plus the new household he has established. That's hard. That's hard for everyone. It's hard for my kids to be raised without their dad. So for me to act that type of way, I'm not. Again, I can't tell anybody else what to do or how to do it, but I'm telling you what I'm not doing. He is never going to say about me, my baby mama kept dragging me through the court. She kept asking me. No. When he talks about me, it ain't anything like that. I hope, pray. I pray. And he doesn't mess with me or bother me about anything about the children. He knows these kids get their stuff. He stalks my Facebook enough to know that. And how do I know that? Because my older children tell me, they're like, Mom, I talked to Dad. He said, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how did he know that? Your Facebook. Whatever. I've started Facebook and all the things so he could see the kids and see what they're doing. We are Facebook friends. He does get to see them. Most of everything I post about is about them. On my other pages, I post stuff that I'm doing, you know, whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to plug that because sometimes it creates a volatile situation, that child support. And maybe your person is not as agreeable. My person wasn't as agreeable. He wasn't in the beginning. But it was what I determined I was doing. I wasn't going to tell him how to behave towards me. I was going to behave how I was going to behave. The judge hit the gavel and said that's what it is, and that was what it was. Now, any decisions or any issues you have with the judge, you have to take that up with him. I don't have to take that up with you. That's between y'all. This is between X person and the state of North Carolina. I'm just the beneficiary or the steward over the money for the children until they are old enough to go out and do their own thing. At this point, at the rate of savings that I'm doing for Jackson going to be set up real good when he leaves. I wish I had done it sooner, and I just didn't and have the mind to do it. But now, and Alana, she won't be as good off because she will age out sooner. Alana will be 18 in 2 years. And so she'll slide off when she's 18, like Trandon did when he turned 18. And Shamika was already out of the house before her dad left. And then Jackson will be for a little bit more, few years. But Alana's working. And so I'm teaching her and training her on how to put her finances together. So she's got an added benefit that Jackson doesn't have. Right now, I think when she graduates next year, she's going to take a year off, period, from school. She's just going to be off, and she'll be able to work and increase her finances and able to, get herself squared away. Would I like to have more money for her in her account? Absolutely. But that's not where we are. We just take what we have and we do what we can. As money continues to come in, I'll find different ways to shift things so that she is still getting what she needs. She doesn't plan to move out at 18. Shamika planned to move out when she was 12. She was planning that. Trandon, he planned to move out, when he was about 16. He's like, I'm moving out. Okay, bye. And of course, he went to the military. Shamika also went to the military. So they, I wished I had started sooner. I didn't. Now I know better, and so I'm doing better. Anyway, again, lots of chit-chatting, not very many numbers, but maybe it's helpful to somebody. So there it is, you guys, the budget update for the second child support payment in November. We do want to thank you all so much for stopping by our channel. If you like the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Please share the video if you feel like the video is shareable. If there's something in here that meant something to you, it may mean something to somebody else. It makes me feel so good when I get people that say, hey, I saw your video. I sent it to my daughter because she's a single mom and maybe it'll help her. Absolutely, do all of that, because we don't know how people are getting helped. We just put it out there, and if it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't help you, then praise God, well, maybe the next one will. So anywho, thank you all so much for stopping by our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. What?